Hi everybody and welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Chris. You can hit the subscribe button and hit the bell button so you know when I come out with another video. Today I want to do something just a little bit different, a little bit fun on my channel. I want to actually dress up because Halloween is just not enough. Today I'm actually dressed as the house that I am in terms of Harry Potter. Now if you want to find out what house that you are in, you need to go on pottermore.com because that is the official site that gives you the actual house that you are in. I was really shocked to find out that I was a Slytherin, but it's okay. Slytherins aren't all bad. Merlin was great. Merlin was like one of the greatest wizards and he was Slytherin. My eye look today is inspired by the Slytherin crest. The little red dots right here are not from the palette. This is just a Jeffree Star liquid lip that I just decided to just put a little red since there is red on the crest. Enough about that. We're not talking about Slytherins today. Today we are talking about a brand new palette from Bad Habit that is of course a rumor dupe for a McGrath palette. I am not going to call it a dupe because I do not have that palette. You can't call it a dupe unless you have the palette. Doesn't make sense. So right now we are going to review the palette itself. Now for the first time ever, I'm not going to do a eye look in terms of testing out the shadows in front of you. I already tested out this palette. It's going to be a quick review because I already did the sister palette to this palette. So this is the palette we are going to be reviewing today. It is called the Cult Mythos palette. It is inspired by Greek gods and goddesses, and this is the second palette in the 3 series Luxe Edition palettes. This palette retails for $24 on the Shop Hush app. If you don't have this Shop Hush app, you go ahead and download it off of your Play Store or your Apple Store, and you'll be able to buy a whole bunch of different things: makeup, skincare, beauty accessories, you name it. You get free shipping, all that good stuff. For my international subscribers, they are working on getting it out to you guys too. Also, by the way, it's not just about buying stuff. There is a community on the app where you can share your eye looks and ask people questions, ask for tips, so it's really, really great. Probably addicted to it. Now, if you already been on my channel, you already know pretty much a little bit about Bad Habit. You know that they create dupes. They are known for it. They are pretty much dupe makers or dupe masters. Because let me tell you something, these dupes sometimes are better than the original ones. They dupe Anastasia Beverly Hills palettes, they dupe Kat Von D palettes, they dupe McGrath palettes, and many more, and they do an excellent job. The Luxe series so far has 2 palettes. There is a 3rd one coming out. This one I already reviewed on my channel. This is called the Cult Mythos palette. I absolutely love this palette. Because this is the sister of it, I didn't feel like I needed to do a full review the way I did this one, because I'm going to tell you right now, they are not that different. It is the same formula, the same payoff, the same wow factor. So if you haven't seen this video, you can go ahead and click the link that's going to pop up right here, and you can go ahead and check it out. We're going to go ahead and dive into this right now. So in the back of this palette, you have the 10 circles where it shows the names of the eyeshadows, and it is of course a 10 eyeshadow collection. The box is somewhere in my house. The box looks like this. It looks just like the palette. In the back, however, it does show the ingredients. This is a cruelty-free brand, and also if you are allergic to talc and mica, they do have this in this palette, so I suggest you don't buy it. If you're allergic to it, don't get it. Now this palette is not going to be your first impressions. Like I said, I already used it. It is on my eyes, by the way. I'm not even sure if I even mentioned that. My fault. So this is the palette that we are speaking of today. I'm going to bring it up close so you guys can see it. It is an absolutely gorgeous palette. So before I continue, I'm going to mention that this series does come with a slipcover that gives instructions to what to expect with these shadows, how to use them, what gives the extreme payoff. It is really, really, really important that you know that, because let's say you don't know how to use it. Guess what? They give you the answer. So this slipcover shows these 4 right here, this quad right here, as baked shadows, and then these 6 right here as shimmer or matte shadows. So off the back, I'm gonna be 100 with you. I was a little upset that this palette only had 2 mattes. 1, 2, 3, and 4 are shimmers, and these are all baked. I would have liked to see maybe like at least 1 more matte in here, but I digress. I did love the palette anyway, so it was okay for me. If you like more mattes, then you might not be such a huge fan of this palette. So this slipcover reads as such: welcome to Mythos. These 10 shadows feature 2 unique formulas, 6 luxurious smooth pressed powder shades, and 4 silky baked powder shades infused with a dash of cream. So if you don't know what the baked shadow means, you can read it right here. If you read the slipcover, you will know what it means, honey, or just Google it. Google's like your best friend. So over here on the right hand side of the slipcover, it says baked powders, which is the 4 that I was talking about earlier. It says for maximum payoff and shine, apply using a finger. And on this side where it says the pressed powders, it says apply using a brush for best blendability. For a more intense payoff, use a dampened brush. Because of the fact that I I already reviewed a Cult palette on this channel, I decided to do exactly what this said. On my eyes, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 shadows, and on my face, I have these 2 as well. So I used 8 out of 10 of these shadows. I wanted to get a good feel of this palette before I came to talk to you guys about it. So I'm gonna get a little closer so you guys could see me better. So the first color that you guys probably noticed is Dion, this beautiful green baked shade right here. This shade is obviously, to me, the one that really pops out of all of the colors here. I mean, Apollo is beautiful too, so is Hermes, but this one right here is gorgeous. I'm gonna quickly just show you guys what this looks like right here. Like this. Boom. Like, the pigment is clearly there. It is absolutely gorgeous. It has like little gold undertones. It is a beautiful, beautiful shade, and it's pigmented AF. So I did exactly what the slipcover said, and I applied it with my finger on my lids, and the payoff was insane, as you can see. Like, this palette was not a joke. Now on the back of Dion, right up here, I have 3 shades. I have Apollo, I have Dionysus, and I have Helena. This black, a little goes a very long way. Like, do not go in too much with Helena. Like, start in a little bit and just blend it up, because let me tell you something, it's harder to take away black than to put it in. Start off small. She's very pigmented. As a matter of fact, I will show you. Here we go. Helena, right here. Boom. Like, that's not a joke, you guys. Now, it may not have swatched so pretty, but let me tell you something, it looks gorgeous on the eyes. This is why I don't rely on swatches. This is why I'm not a huge swatch person. I don't do segments of swatches anymore on my channel, because there were so many times that I went in with a swatch and then it looked horrible on my eyes, and I was just like, how is that possible? But yes, Helena looks absolutely gorgeous, and I did go in with a dampened brush, so I have the extreme payoff on my eyes. I did exactly what this palette said. For these 6, it says to use a damper brush for extreme payoff, and for these 4, it says to go with a finger, and that's exactly what I did for every single thing. Now, I want to take a second to talk about Dionysus. This shade right here is part of the top 3 of my favorite shades from this palette, because it is so versatile. So I watched Keaneu talk about this palette on the Shop Hush Live, and let me tell you something, he was like, oh, use this to fill in your eyebrows, and I was just like, I don't know about that, Keaneu, but he doesn't usually steer me wrong, especially when it comes to Bad Habit palettes. So I was just like, let me try it. And let me tell you something, your girl put it in her eyebrows. Right now, my eyebrows are filled with Dionysus. That was amazing. I was like, oh, so if I ever like forgot to pack my, you know, eyebrow filler or whatever you want to use, I could just use Dionysus. So that was really, really cool. Other than that, I did use Dionysus on my lid as well, and I did use Apollo. Apollo is a shimmer shade. I'm going to quickly swatch it with this finger right here and put it right here. Very pretty shade. This is how she looks. Apollo is the shade that I actually started off this whole look with. It was like my base shade, because there's not really much of a transition shade in this palette. I used Apollo, and Apollo is a really pretty copper shade. So I used Apollo, and then I put Dionysus, and then I put Helena, and I blended all those bad boys together. Then I went ahead and I put Dion right up top. So those are the shadows that you see all on this upper part of my lid. Now for the bottom lash line, I went ahead and I put Helena and Apollo. I shaded them together, and that's what you see now. In case you're like, Chris, what's in the inner corner of your eye? It is right here, this beautiful copper gold. Can I just hold on? I'm going to show you guys, because this is just stunning. Where, oh, I don't have space. I put it right here. It's beautiful. Look at that gold. It's so, so pretty. Like, I fell in love with it. I was like, I gotta put that in the inner corner of my eye. So far I already talked about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shades. Now I'm going to talk about this shade right here called Atlas. I use this shade to highlight my brow bone. To be honest, this shade to me was my least favorite shade, but it does work really pretty for a highlight for a brow bone. I'm not sure if I will ever use it for anything else other than that. It did work beautifully. It's like a subtle highlight. It gives it a nice touch without it looking too... Next, I went ahead and I put Odysseus, the right here. This is a dual chrome shade. I'm running out of fingers. Oh my gosh. I'll switch hands. This dual chrome shade right here, I went ahead and I put it, I'm going to put it right here so you guys can see. Hold on. Look at this beautiful shade. Like, it's absolutely stunning. And it has crazy, crazy, crazy reflectives in the light. Like in the light, it looks pink. It looks like it has a little bit of purple. It is beautiful. Absolutely stunning. So I have this, believe it or not, right on my nose bridge, right here and right on my nose. I was like, I want to try everything on this palette, so I went ahead and I put Odysseus right here, and it is gorgeous. The last one that I used was Iris, this shade right here. This shade right here, I don't know how it looks on camera, but it is a little bit more pink. So I have it right here. I'm going to put it right here. And there it is. That's how it looks. Again, I'm not sure how this looks on camera, but I can tell you that in person, of course, it has crazy reflectives, just like Odysseus, but it does have a little bit more pink. Like, it is more pink than Odysseus. Odysseus has more of a white base, and Iris has more of a pink base. And Iris, I thought, was really, really pretty. I put that as my highlight for my cheekbones and all that good stuff, so that's what you see right here, and it's absolutely stunning, and it is pigmented as hell. By the way, I did use these brushes right here. These brushes are from the crayon case. They are absolutely wonderful brushes. I always recommend you guys use really good brushes whenever you're working with a palette, because the brushes can make such a big difference. You can have horrible brushes and use them for a great palette, and then you're like, oh my god, why is it not giving me the same payoff as, you know, Chris did or my friend has? What's happening? It's your brushes. So these brushes are amazing. I love them so, so much. So yes, that's what you see on my eyes. That's what I did, and I absolutely adore this palette. By the way, I forgot to mention that it does come with a big mirror. I haven't even taken that off yet because honestly I don't need it. I use my big mirror on my vanity, so it's no big deal for me. This palette once again retails for $24. It is a little bit more than your average Bad Habit palettes, which I believe started years ago at like $10, and now they're about $16 a palette. Now, I know some people are a little upset at the prices, but let me tell you something, it is a better formula. You're not getting the same formula as the, you know, other Bad Habit palettes. And those Bad Habit palettes aren't even bad. They're actually really good. This one's even better. So you are getting more for your buck. Oh, last thing I forgot to mention, when you touch this palette right here, just like the Cult Mythos palette, it does have a little like kind of 3D effect. You touch it and the part where it says Mythos right here is deeper into the actual palette, so it feels nice. That's all I'm trying to say. It's really nice. Those are my thoughts on that palette. Let me know what you guys think down below. Let me know if you guys like this kind of style video, if you prefer, you know, me just doing reviews of a palette, talking about it and moving on, or if you prefer me doing a live look and showing you how the palette performs. Let me know down below. The only reason why I did not do a full review like the way I did with the Cult Mythos is because it's pretty much the same thing. It is the same formula, and if you guys trust me, which I know a lot of you already said that you trust me, and I really do appreciate that, trust me when I say it is the same formula. There is no switch up. There is consistency. It is absolutely stunning. You can see it on my eyes, and it's just amazing. A video that's going to be coming is the review of the Primark haul makeup that I got. If you haven't seen the Primark video yet, you can go ahead and click this link right here. If you haven't seen the Cult Mythos video yet, you can go ahead and click this link right here, and don't forget to subscribe. Okay, so I'll see you guys all in the next one. Bye.